Hello everyone, it's Chelsea from Paper Octio Studio. Today I'm sharing with you day 25 of hashtag Art Journal Habit 2017, a daily art journaling challenge for the month of November 2017, brought to you by the Facebook group Art Joy of Sharing. And I'm starting out with white gesso over my junk journal pages. This link to the video where I made this junk journal is below in the description box, as well as all the materials that I've used today. So once my white gesso was dry, I decided to just do some color play today. I just felt like playing with colors. So I picked a few colors. I believe they are Portrait Pink from Liquitex Basics, that's a heavy body paint, and then two Dilutions colors, Cherry Pie, which is a warm red or a hot pink, depending on how you want to think about it, and Slate Gray, which is a warm gray. And I just wanted to cover up the, what you can still see of the ads through the white gesso, instead of putting another coat of white gesso on. And I just wanted to play with colors. That's my favorite thing to do. Try to find some colors that I think go together and then just, play with them. So decided to use my 2-inch brayer. I use this thing a lot. If you don't have a 2-inch brayer, you might want to get one. Link in the description box below. I also put some white gesso on my, it's craft pad I'm using for a palette, the silicone craft pad things, mats, whatever they call them. I think this one's from Ranger. It's just a small one. And I'm just using the 2-inch brayer and then also this 1-inch flat brush because I can't get down in the cracks of the book with the brayer. It just doesn't work. You can't squish it down in there. And I'm just applying these paint colors randomly. I kind of know what I'm going to be drawing eventually, so I'm kind of avoiding a few spots where I think there will be a drawing. Sorry, it's early morning and my voice doesn't wake up really very fast. And just alternating between the Portrait Pink, the Cherry Pie, the gray, and then some white gesso mixed in there as well to kind of create maybe an additional color. Just completely covering the background in a very, almost a graffiti-like way. It's a fun thing to do. I like to do it. And that really gives me the idea of if the colors coordinate or not. And I picked all warm colors, and I think that they work well together. Of course, I had an idea in my mind of what I was going to do. I forgot to tell you guys the prompt today is profile, and I was thinking of a couple different things. I was thinking about how a profile, of course, means the side of a figure, the side of something, as opposed to looking at it front ways. You're looking at it from the side. You're looking at it from its profile. That's the most obvious interpretation of the prompt. But then I was also thinking about profiling that's so popular on TV now where we have these supposed specialized people who can derive someone's thoughts and motivations and maybe even something about their past or something about their personality based on their actions. And I don't know how realistic that is I know that there are profilers. Obviously they exist. Whether they can really do the magic of the people on TV and how they can, just come up with these ideas about people based on their actions, is that how realistic it is? I don't know. But I like to watch those shows. They're kind of like mysteries. They're today's mystery of, solving a crime or whatever. But then as I thought about that, I also thought about the fact that we really kind of profile people every day based on their actions, what they say, what they do, how we see them interact with other people, how we see them interact with animals. And I was recently at an event, a charity event for the therapy dog program at Children's Hospital Los Angeles. There's a charity that raises money for that program, and it's called the Titania Canine Fund, which was started by a friend of ours who passed away when she was 16 from cancer, but she was really loved the idea of therapy dogs. And then when I was at the fundraiser, I met several therapy dogs and their handlers. These people devote a lot of their time training the dogs and then taking them to the hospitals to interact with people. And it started me thinking about how we can profile people based on which animal they like. Are you a dog person? Are you a cat person? Do you like all animals? You know, how does your body language and your how you react to an animal when confronted with one? And I think that that is another form of profiling that we all do every single day. Some of us have animals at our house, and it's interesting when people visit how they react. Are they afraid of the animals? Are they nervous around them? Or are they completely comfortable? Man, my throat does not want to cooperate. And also, how does the animal react to the person? We can tell a lot about people, about, how an animal reacts to how they're reacting. So that was my other concept of profiling and the prompt and what I was thinking about when I thought about the prompt. So one of the therapy dogs that we met, it was so cute. They gave us like little trading cards for the therapy dogs. They give them to the kids. It's so cute. It's like a little baseball card, only it's got the dog and information about it or whatever. It was really cute. But anyway, one of them was a border collie. All the dogs were different. There's not like a certain type of dog that they pick to be a therapy animal. It's really just more about the personality of the dog and the training. Some dogs are just way too excitable, and they're just never going to be a therapy dog. Others, they don't like to be touched or whatever. So some of that is training, and then others just like some animals are just so comfortable and so relaxed around people, and they're just little loves. So the border collie that we met is what I was trying to draw. It might look a little bit more like a wolf. I'm not sure. They have very, very pointy noses, and I was trying to get the whole pointy nose thing going on there, but I don't know. It's in profile. And of course I drew a person. The handler for this animal was, she was probably, I would say, late 30s, early 40s, female. So I drew a profile of a female. Probably not exactly what she looks like. I don't remember. I was interested in the dog. Sorry. But those were my profiles that I drew because they are from the side. I started out with a drawing pencil. Then, drawing and erasing or whatever. Then I went over that with a Stabilo all pencil and a water brush to kind of just give me the depth that I needed for the lines without going in and doing illustration lines. This was trying to be more like painterly and not so illustratively done. Then I got out some colors that I thought would coordinate from my Neocolor 2 water-soluble crayons. Love these crayons. They're so great. They are highly pigmented. They are easily, blended with water. I have a little bit of white gesso on my craft mat over there, and I'm using that combined with water and you know, adding highlights, shadows. I'm not trying to go for realistic colors. This is painterly. It's giving the idea of highlights and shadows by using different values of color, which is a great exercise that everyone should do. You guys should try it out using like a cool blue for a shadow or a cool purple, using a warm yellow or a warm orange for a highlight. It's a lot of fun and really like kind of an exercise for your brain. Then I've got this dark brown, Van Dyke brown. It's a grayish brown. So I thought it coordinated with the gray in the background. And I think I have a light blue and a yellow. That's a yellow, kind of a orangey yellow, and then a more like a terracotta orange color. I'm not sure exactly what these colors are. I just picked based on what I thought, they were based by the, on the crayon. What the color crayon looks like is how I picked the colors. And then the white gesso to highlight and blend. Still not sure if that looks like a collie. It might look more like a wolf. If it's a wolf, oh well. I don't really care. So still adjusting. I brought back in the pencil a little bit there to kind of adjust. Probably the nose should have been still more pointy than that. I've adjusted it a couple times already, and now that I look at it in the video, I still think it should be more pointy. But I decided to move on to the profile of the person and add a few colors here and there. You notice I'm not completely obliterating the background. I didn't intend to. I'm just adding colors where for accents and for shadows and highlights, kind of, I guess is what I'm saying. Surprisingly, the area that I left for the face with the portrait pink and the white gesso and the other cherry pie came out almost. You see that white highlight right there on her cheekbone? Almost came out perfectly. That's kind of funny. I mean, I left the area knowing that I didn't put any real dark color on it, knowing that I was going to draw a face there, but I think it came out pretty darn well. Completely random. So I'm just going in and adding color, taking, lightening color with the white, adding back in some more color, back and forth like you do. I want the figures to stand out from the page while still appearing as though they belong on the page. And also adding in the same colors that I used on the dog as well. So I think we have 5 days more of this challenge. I'm getting really worn out. My videos are getting later and later in the day because I can't make myself get up and make the page. There are so many other people that are participating in this challenge. If you haven't seen their pages, you should come over and ask to join Art Joy of Sharing Facebook group, because everyone's putting their pages in there in a folder, and you can just go through the album in there and just look at everyone's pages and see all the different ideas that people had about the prompts and how to represent them on a page. It's really great. Just remember that if you do ask to join, that you have to answer the questions. We won't approve anyone who hasn't answered the questions, because we want to make sure that everyone understands that that group is for sharing and not selling. Not promoting yourself or your products, but actually sharing your art with other people, helping, answering questions, things like that. So we aren't excited about people who video drop in there and just run away and, don't ever participate. So the last thing that I did, pretty much the last thing I did, was to write Pup Love. There was an area over here to the left-hand side that was too blank, needed something, so I just decided to write with my own handwriting. And then I went around and did some reduction of the background, taking away the background a little bit so that the words would stand out. And then I added just a tiny bit of color in there, not much, to kind of coordinate. I think I just used the orange and that was it, maybe. And I might have went back around it with the black pencil again, maybe. Not sure. I think I did. To add some line weight to a few of the areas. Oh, right there. There was some pencil lines that I had tried to erase, and they were not quite erased well enough, and so I just added a little bit more color, actually some white, to cover it up, and then I started adding more color and highlight in a few places on the face again. That's kind of how it goes. You do something, you go to something else, you come back to something else, you go back and forth until you're satisfied with your complete page. Add a little heart on her cheek, like a little, I don't know. I do that quite a bit. I'm not sure why. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Links below. Check them out. Use the hashtag Art Journal Habit 2017 as a way to find pages if you don't join the group. And be sure to give it a thumbs up, comment so I know you were here, subscribe if you haven't already, and share if you want to. I'll be posting this in a few different places. So that's it for me. Thanks. Bye-bye.